What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new electric scooter. This is the Nanrobot C1. The one I have here is in black with some orange accents, but the scooter does come in a few other colors as well. So diving into the specs, we have a 500 watt motor with a peak of 850 watts. And as you can see, this is a front wheel drive scooter as well. Looking at the tires, we have 10-inch self-healing pneumatic tires. I've tried a lot of scooters in this price range and I've yet to see one with tires this beefy. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how these handle and how they feel. In back, we have mechanical disc brakes, and the brand here is Jack Super Brake. And then in front, we have EABS brakes, which is basically internal motor braking that helps slow you down. Looking at the deck, we have a nice rubber texture here, nice and grippy. It's mostly matte black, but then we have some sections of glossy black as well, which gives it a unique look to it. Got the logo Nanrobot in the middle. You have this unique flare looking design at the side here. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but as I see it more, it's definitely starting to grow onto me. And then under the deck here, we have a 48 volt, 10 amp hour battery. Looking at the lights, you have a built-in headlight. It doesn't look like it's gonna be that bright, but it should be good enough to give you some overall visibility. And then coming to the back, you have this nice wraparound tail light. Unfortunately, it's not that bright either, but it does light up and blink when you hit the brake. And then besides that, you also have built-in turn signals that wrap around both sides as well. Coming up to the bars, you have a thumb throttle, your headlight button, power button. The other side, you have a bell. Then you have your buttons for the turn signal. And then in the center here, you have your screen, which is definitely a cool and unique looking screen. So right here, you have your speed, the speed you're going, your odometer. Then up top, you have your battery meter. And then if you hit the throttle, you also have a light on the side that shows you the power the scooter is drawing. Too many scooters have that little screen with one button on it, so it's always good to see when scooters switch it up and do something a little more different. Last but not least, this scooter has an IP54 water resistance rating and weighs 46.3 pounds. Alright, so first impressions, this definitely feels like a nice and stable scooter. I like the height of it. I think it's a little higher than most other scooters around this size. That's probably because of the fat tires, or maybe the deck's a little higher. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't measure it. But yeah, it feels good. Very slow on speed 1 though. It's only going 10.2 kilometers per hour. I don't know how to switch it to miles per hour, so I'm just gonna leave it there and I'll throw up a conversion on the screen so we can see what that is in miles per hour. But this is a turtle on speed 1, which for most adults is gonna be too slow. But I guess if you're a new rider or you're letting a kid use this, then this is gonna be a good speed on 1. But let's go ahead and get out of that. Switch to number 2. Definitely a lot more torque on number 2, and just from this number 2 speed alone, I can see this is gonna have some good torque on it when we get to number 3. One thing I will say though is these bars feel a little lower than most other scooters I've tried. I'm only 5'10", so I'm not that tall of a person, but I feel like these bars need to be a good maybe 3 to 4 inches taller at least. I feel like I'm a little bit crouched down here. So if you're someone past my height, this might not be a good scooter for you. I'm gonna say this is probably good for like someone 5'7"-ish. Or maybe if you like a smaller scooter, then you could be my height and go with this. But for me personally, I just feel like these bars are a little too low. So about 22.8 on number 2. These tires definitely feel nice and stable though. This doesn't have a suspension, but it feels just as good as a lot of other scooters that I've rolled that do have suspensions, because on scooters around this size, the suspensions aren't usually anything that big. It's usually just like a simple fork. But these beefier tires definitely feel very comparable. If this was a regular 10-inch scooter with regular thinner pneumatic tires, you would have felt every little bump. A lot more torque on this speed 3, that's for sure. So it definitely feels like it has a pretty good motor in it. I don't know what that converts to. Again, I'll throw it up on the screen, but right now I was getting 33.7 kilometers per hour. Man, I just wish this scooter was a little bit taller. I feel like I'm hunching down a little bit and it's kind of affecting the way I'm riding. I don't feel as confident in going faster or turning because I just feel like I'm riding too small of a scooter. Let me go ahead and go on a longer stretch so we can see what it completely tops out at. Comfort-wise, as far as the wheels and feeling bumps, this is definitely up there as one of the best scooters that don't have a suspension. Brakes are pretty good as well, nice and smooth, not too grabby, but if you click on them harder, they stop nice and smooth. As I've said in other videos, there's a lot of cheap scooters that you just barely tap on the brakes and it wants to throw you over the bars and it grabs too quickly. but this has some good modulation in it. Yeah, riding over the sidewalk right now with a bunch of bumps, and it definitely doesn't feel that bad. All right, speed 3, top speed run. See what we can get. Already at 30 kilometers, 33, 34. Catching a lot of wind right now, so might slow me down some. All right, way too much wind coming this way, so I'm gonna flip around and try it the other way. Nice and torquey when you first start though. Good get up and go speed. All right, looks like 35 kilometers per hour is the top speed I was able to get. Might get a little more if it's lighter, but that seems to be about where it gives up. This does have cruise control as well, so keep that in mind. Right now I was going a little quicker and I let off the throttle. I didn't realize it, and it kind of just kept going. I had to hit the brakes. So definitely something to keep in mind if you're a new rider. If you're not paying attention, you could easily crash into something or right off the road and hit a curb or something. As I ride this scooter, one thing I really like on it is the sound that the motor makes. It sounds very silent, but it also has like a very, very low whine to it, and it just sounds like a, I don't know, to me it just sounds like a very refined and high quality motor. A lot of these scooters have a high pitched whine, it just sounds cheap, but this one has a very nice electric motor sound to it. Yeah, build quality, this feels nice and sturdy. There's no rattling, nothing feels unsound. It feels very good, very smooth ride. So yeah, overall definitely a good build quality scooter. Nice torque to it, good brakes. If it was a little bit taller, I would have gave this a much higher score, but because of the height, it personally just isn't for me. Maybe if you're a little bit shorter, and this might be the perfect scooter for you. All right, that about wraps up this video. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.